Okay, I'm going to do part 2. I didn't really get through, I only did one verse in Matthew 24, so I got busy here at the plantation, so, coming back, going in on this chapter. Again, this is a chapter regarding the signs of the end, as in the end of the world, end of Esau's kingdom, right? So, I went over the microchip a little bit, the micro C hip. But that thing's going to be tried on all the people, right? But Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, is gonna well, let's get it again. Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So, if you're of the elect, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is going to keep us from that temptation. Because you understand, it's going to be tempting for these, not only tempting, but these 2/3, they're going to take it. Because they're not going to be able to have a spirit or the will to deny that thing. Because they're going to look around, see their family members, their kids starving. So they're going to break, and they'll end up taking that wicked device, right? So, but the elect, we have a spirit to endure. And that's why that's why we're protected by Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. That's why we build up our spirit in this truth, in this knowledge, because we know the end all be all for the 2/3 who take that device. All right, so let's go back to Matthew 24 and verse 22. It says, and except those days should be shortened, but there should be no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai is telling us that we're gonna the elect, for the elect's sake, for our sake, those days are gonna be shortened. And why? Because the Lord's gonna know that it's gonna be a great tribulation. It's gonna be, Jacob's trouble is gonna be just exactly that. Jacob's trouble. It's gonna be trouble for Jake, for the Israelites. So he's gonna shorten the days for our sake. Okay. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is a Mashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. And Esau Edom, he's got the technology, the Project Bluebeam. He's got if you watch the show Redacted on YouTube, they speak about how the government, they were talking to CIA and government officials, and these insiders speaking on how they're going to forge an alien invasion. So they're going to make it look like the chariots are attacking America and the people, and they are going to fuck some people up with those so-called fake alien invasions. However they do it, we don't know how they're going to do it, but they have technology to do this. So the elect, we're going to know the difference. We're going to know that when Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai returns, because they also have Project Bluebeam, which they can, Esau Edom can create a giant hologram in the sky that'll look like Cesare Borgia, and all these people are going to think it's the return of Jesus Christ, right? But the elect, we're the elect, so we can't be deceived. Even when Esau does, he's on his last leg and he's being desperate and using his technology to fool the masses. The only problem is he's not going to get the elect. He's not going to put a micro C hip in the elect, and he's not going to deceive the elect with his fake Project Bluebeam and his fake alien invasion. All right. Verse 25. Behold, I have told you before. Yahushua, he gave us warning before time. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. right? And those secret chambers literally deals with the chariots, but we're gonna know when it's the real chariots. We're gonna not be deceived by the technology that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is gonna put in the skies. In the skies, because I also sounded like I said in disguise, which he's gonna disguise the second coming with his technology. All right, he's going to deceive the masses, but not the elect. Verse 27: For as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even into the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, because he's going to come quick. Lightning moves quick. The chariots move quick. All right. Verse 28: For wheresoever the carcass is, there will be eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. All right? And that's going into that nuclear war. You know, because those missiles are going to look like stars falling from heaven. The sun's going to be darkened because, you know, when you set off a nuclear missile or nuclear bomb, it creates that mushroom cloud, which, you know, when they set off enough of those nuclear missiles, the sun will be the sun's going to be darkened. You won't be able to see the sun. Let me see where I'm at. Verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with great glory, with power and great glory. All right, so with the true Messiah, when Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai visits the earth, when Yahushai cracks them clouds, we're going to know. Everybody's going to know. But the elect ain't going to fall for the fake alien invasion or the fake Project Bluebeam. And you can look that up, Project Bluebeam. It's that technology that Esau has that he can deceive the masses with his technology. Verse 31, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So he's going to gather the elect with the chariots. You got to know the clouds are the chariots when you read that. Psalm 104:3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Yahweh, he's got his chariots are those so-called UFOs, and that's why you have that word beam there, because those beams come out the chamber of the UFO, come out the inside of the UFO. What you call a UFO, we know is a chariot of Yahweh. All right, so that's why it says that Yahushua is coming back with power and great glory, and he's coming in the clouds of heaven, which are those chariots, what you call UFOs. He shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So he's not going to gather the entire world, all the people on the planet Earth. No, he's going to gather his elect. All right? He's going to gather his elect. That's what it is. It's not going to be everybody taken up and saved. This is what we're reading, true salvation right now. Because these Christians walk around talking about they're saved and they got salvation, but they don't understand the Bible. All right? I'm going to jump to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 2. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Because what they're literally talking about is the strangeness.
The Lakewood area. There was a dumpster fire.
Oh, really? A dumpster fire? Just one? Oh, okay. That's crazy. All right, and that's not spiritual because this heathen just walked by and she said she's talking about some haze in the sky right now. She says that it's because of a dumpster fire in Lakewood, which is a suburb of Denver. Which that's what we're reading about, man. We're reading about the elect are going to be taken up when this place is on fire. So that's spiritual that she said that. You know, some random lady. Because I'm over here at the plantation. She said that there's a fire in Lakewood, Colorado, and that's why you can see the smoke in the sky. So anyway, that's what I'm reading about. But the strangeness of our salvation is because it's going to be strange for them when they witness the Israelites, who are the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, and the 1/3, the elect of our people, are going to be going and taken up, saved by the chariots, by what they call UFOs. That'll be a strange thing for them to witness. Okay, I just wanted to grab that. Matthew 24 and where am I? 27, 28. No, Salakia. It says, "Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that the summer is nigh. So likewise, ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you," so Yahushua is saying, you got to pay attention to the sign, measure the time diligently. This is how we're going to know when the end happens, when it's the end, the last day, the day of wrath, the day of the heathen, the day prepared for the heathen. As it's referred to as many different words in different ways, but Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is gonna, it's like I said, the day of the heathen, the day of wrath. It's gonna be a bad day for the heathen, and 2/3 of our own people are heathen because they're like-minded as the heathen. They're not like-minded as the elect, because the elect, we're prophesying Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We're telling you about the chariots. We're telling you about what's about to happen to Babylon, America. But 2/3 of our people, they don't believe it. They rather believe the lies they've been taught in their philosophies of the heathen, so-called white man, leading the charge with leading our people, causing them to err. All right. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. All right. And it's not talking about, because it's going to be refreshed. The earth is going to be refreshed. There's not going to be a new heaven and a new earth. It'll just be refreshed. All right, renewed. And that's how he's going to renew it, by burning this place with nuclear fire. Because when you take fire to anything, it becomes a cleaning agent. It's like a sterilizer, right? So that's what the Lord's going to do with the missiles. Because you got to remember, the Lord's presence is going to be in those missiles. It tells you that in Hebrews. Let's grab it. So lock in. Hebrews 12 and 29, it says, "For our power Yahweh is a consuming fire." So the consuming fire that's going to consume Babylon, America, it's going to sterilize Babylon, America, going to be that cleansing agent. There's going to be those missiles, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, is going to be in those missiles. All right, Matthew 24 and where am I at? "But of that day, the hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only." So Yahushua said, no one knows the day or the hour. All right, we don't know the exact day, but we have. That's why we have to pay attention to the signs. And the signs are the prophecies are speaking, like it tells you in Habakkuk the second chapter. It says that the prophecies are going to speak loud and clear. And we can see these prophecies speaking. We see we're right. The mark of the beast is right at the door. It's right at the doorstep. We know that the nuclear missiles, the World War III, the third woe spoken of in Revelation, that's also right at the door. You see? So we have to, just like when the fig tree, what was that analogy about the fig tree? Let's go back to it. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that the summer is near, is nigh. So you know when the fig tree's putting forth leaves, that summer's coming. Well, the same, it's an analogy. When we see all of these things happening, then we know that the end is near. Verse 37, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Whereas in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. All right? Because they didn't believe Noah in that time. They didn't believe Noah was a prophet. They didn't believe him, just like they don't believe the Lord's prophets right now. 2/3 of our people don't believe. The heathen are damn sure ain't going to believe this truth. Because they've been taught with Esau, they've been taught by Esau that, hey, this is, everybody's a part of this. Everybody could have salvation. The Messiah is a so-called white dude, all these things. So that's why they're just going about their little lives, just like in the days of Noah. They're marrying, they're drinking, they're giving in marriage, giving in marriage, all up to the last day when Noah entered into the ark. It's going to be the same way with the fire, right? The flood and the fire, which Yahweh, he's a power of balance. But they're going to be in that same spirit. Do people not get married still right now as we speak, even though the days of the end are coming? Why would you get married to a woman if you know that the end is coming? You'd be waiting on that true marriage to be reunited with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the husbandman. And, the men were the bride. That's the true marriage that we will be waiting on right now. All right? Verse 39, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So this World War III, these missiles, these nuclear missiles, it's going to be the same way. They're going to take, those missiles are going to take all these people away, put them to death by destruction, death by the sword, which the sword is a representation for war in the Bible. So these things are going to happen, and they're just going to be living their lives like you see. When you look around America, you look at the people, they don't believe the end is coming, right? Psalm 49:11, they feel like their dwellings will continue forever, right? Psalm 49:11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and that their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. All right. So these people, like I said, our people take on that mindset of the heathen, and they also, too, the 2/3, they believe that this place is that their dwellings are going to continue forever. But no, the Lord has a designated day, time, and hour when this place is going to be destroyed. And I'm talking about Babylon, America. Matthew 24:39. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and close out on there because, like I said, I'm still at the plantation. But I wanted to get a little scripture in, get the lesson done. So Lord's will, that was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect. Shalom.